Salutations everyone, welcome to my Quest for a Main episode 6, where today we're looking at Link. Link was a very interesting character, not one that I used very much in Melee or Brawl, and a little bit in Smash 64, because there was only like 4 characters in that game, so you kind of used everybody quite an awful lot. And while, his up air and his down air were pretty fun, there wasn't all that much to him for, a small child like me in that game. And when it came to Smash 4, obviously, you want to give everybody a try, and I found myself having a little bit of fun with Link, and, he was pretty fun. He's got really good kill power, up smash, up air, forward air. So he's got in the kill power department, and with his zoning capabilities, with his projectiles, he's very, very useful in covering options. That is kind of the name of the game with Link. Since you have Bomb and Boomerang, you don't really use Arrow outside of, maybe shooting someone off stage for the most part, or doing some mind games. With the Gale Boomerang having such a big hitbox, and the Bomb having the blast radius that it does, having the disjoint of the sword as well as a tether grab, there's so much area that Link can cover. And typically if you have 1 or 2 projectiles out on the field, you're going to cover a lot of options, limit to what your opponent feels like is safe. And if they pick the wrong option, you get them with the grab, you get them with an up tilt, a forward tilt, or punish them with hero spin, which is a really good option out of shield that you don't see very much. You can cover some ledge options if someone's going for something really unsafe, or if they up special past the ledge. So hero spin actually has got some really good kill power as well. Obviously the aerial version has some really nice combos. You can down throw, and if they jump, you can get them with an up air or a hero spin, or if you catch them in the air by hitting them with a bomb, that pretty much sets them in perfect hero spin range. And if you get one hit, you're almost guaranteed to get all of the hits, including the final killing blow. So Link has a lot of setups. He doesn't have a ton of we just cover those options. He doesn't have a ton of, combo game. He does have that bomb footstool combo, but I myself am no good at landing after the footstool. I don't have, I try and I practice, but it's just something that I'm not capable of doing at this juncture. So with Link, obviously he doesn't have a lot of combos, but you don't necessarily need to have, an insane combo game where you're following up everything with perfect pivots and, getting those tilts at just the right percentage, pulling a bomb, keeping them in the air, and then, landing in another aerial or something like that. Because it is all about option coverage with Link. His aerial game is a little weak. Just because, the lag that his down air has, it's not super duper safe. It's, not really great at spiking, and there, I should have hero spinned early, but he probably still could have fared me, so that was kind of a pick your poison there with Link and his not amazing recovery. His recovery isn't terrible, and, it's better than, say Ike's or something, and, we get that dash attack, which is also a kill move. So, obviously bomb jumping very much helps you. You also have the tether grab to mix things up, or if you're just not the right range for a hero spin, it'll be a little risky, very easily spiked because there's no hitbox above you with the hero spin. So Link definitely has, especially if you miss those tether grabs, has a lot of jarring, big, easily exploitable weaknesses. But they aren't like so big weaknesses that they can be exploited with one strategy or another. You can mix things up with your bombs, with your tethers, with your jumps and your hero spins, to where you'll be safe a lot of the time, but there are going to be windows of opportunity for your opponents to catch a jump, especially if they have projectiles themselves. Link does a pretty good job at the projectile versus projectile game, especially since he has a few of them, and the Gale Boomerang has such a large hitbox. It'll clash with a lot of things, and there's just no getting back after that unless you got a bomb in hand, and even sometimes that's just not enough, especially with hit stun being a thing. So we are in a huge hole up against this Lucario here, which is the last place you want to be because of that aura rage factor being a thing. But we're going to try to, you know, Lucario's got some exploitable things as well if they are not too careful. So we're going to challenge him in the air because, you know, Lucario's aerials aren't that great, and we have the disjoint. So that's kind of the thing with Link. You have to balance, you know, your projectile game, your grab game. You're going to have to make it count because you can get punished very, very hard. And we'll just hear us spin out of shield right there again. It's a solid option. You don't see enough on the, you know, lower levels of play. His Nair is very, very good for chasing opponents, for, you know, finishing off those combos, you know, fast fall, weak Nair. It could also set up for maybe a tech chase situation, whether you grab them or you read the roll. You can get him with a dash attack, and then that will kill. Nair is really great for covering options, you know, at the ledge, kind of similar to like Sheik's Nair. And I believe it has actually even more priority than Sheik's Nair, but it lingers, you know, just as long. And thankfully we weren't going to get footstool combo there. So now we brought it back to pretty much an even game here, as we're going to toss this Lucario up in the air. Can't finish him off with the hero spin, and not at that percent. So we're going to limit all his options. Read the extreme speed for the dash attack. That was a hard read right there. Saw it coming. See, that's just what you can do with projectiles. You can condition your opponent to be afraid of them, and they'll jump over the boomerang or jump over the bomb, or, you know, up special past the ledge. You know, obviously with Lucario, you go quite past the ledge, and you can punish those options: dash attack, grab, or, you know, look for get up and, you know, get a grab, or you know, maybe some tilt action there. It depends obviously on, you know, percent and the weight and fall speed of your opponents. And here we are going up against a Sheik, which, as we know, is about as hard of a counter as you can get against Link, because she's just so much faster. Her grab game is incredible, and his grab game is terrible. It's just the biggest thing that you can do against Link is just, you know, go up to him and stay in shield, because what's he going to do? He's going to go for the grab? That's, you know, not going to be a very smart thing to do unless you know you have the guaranteed grab. Obviously, you'll miss a few here and there. Even the best Links miss a ton of grabs. We saw what T did at Civil War. Even with his, you know, many whiffed grabs, he was still able to get third place in the biggest thing ever. And see, right there was all about option coverage. We threw the bomb so Sheik couldn't just like go straight to the ledge or, you know, straight back onto the stage. And then we throw the boomerang, forces her to jump, and then we catch it with the hero spin. We could have done that with forward smash or up smash, where, you know, you'll have some chances of missing those. So I just went with the hero spin. You know, Sheik being as light as she is, I felt that that might have been, you know, the easiest option to go for. And his tilts are fantastic as well. Obviously, forward tilt is a great killing move, good for spacing. Down tilt is a fantastic option. It sets up into hero spins quite often at, you know, 100% and above. Down tilt into hero spin, or if, you know, maybe they air dodge, you wait out an up air because the up air lingers for so long. So you can mix up a lot of things with Link, especially with fast falls. Because of the projectiles that you'll have out in the game, you could, you know, empty hop fast fall and then go for the grab. That will, you know, throw your opponent for a loop because they're trying to dodge the bomb or the boomerang, or maybe they're looking to, you know, not get hit with an up air because, you know, that's such a strong option. And then we nail her with the forward smash as we continue here against Ryu. So when it comes to like matchups with Link, there's not a ton of matchups where I really, really like Link. Obviously, he has the projectile zoning capabilities and the disjoint with the sword. So there aren't a lot of characters where like, I hate Link in this matchup. There's actually quite a few matchups where Link is pretty good, especially when the opponent doesn't have a good projectile, and Link can kind of, you know, designate where the battle is going to be on stage, because you don't have to like really go for all of your hits. When it comes to Link, because he has that Gale Boomerang, and we just totally just took that Ryu to town as he did not pick the correct option, trying to avoid all of the various hits that we had going for him, and we nail him with a half-charged forward smash, which, as we know, is all very strong. So when it comes to Link in a lot of matchups, when it comes to spacing out with the projectiles, it's really good at suffocating your opponent. And as you can see here, I'm throwing projectiles and then retreating, giving space, making him approach, hit him with the boomerang, or dash in with a grab, which not a lot of people expect with tether grabs, especially if you aren't Zero Suit. So Link has those options to really dictate the pacing and the spacing of the game. He has those projectiles to pressure you, and then you can retreat, go for a grab, or start things off with a nair, or spot dodge. Then you start hitting with up tilts or things like that. So he doesn't have, I think, a ton of terrible matchups. Obviously, if you have speed or where those projectiles aren't going to have as big of an impact, those can be really, really difficult for Link. There's some matchups where he actually does, like, surprisingly well. Like, I feel like Link has a pretty good matchup against Bayonetta, one of the most difficult characters to play against in this game if the Bayo knows what they're doing. And Link, with the bomb, with the boomerang, with the up air, with the hero spin, you can do some work on Bayonetta if they aren't careful, they go for too many witch times, or if they have a lot of landing lag, and not even if they're high up in the air, you can start hitting things with those aerials, and you can start killing Bayonetta with hero spin in like the mid to late 90s. So he's pretty good at kind of mitigating her approach game, which, as we know, isn't fantastic. Bayo doesn't have a really good neutral game, so Link can kind of take advantage with that and start to chip away damage, pick your spots. Because he doesn't rely on a heavy combo game, he doesn't have to worry about getting witch timed or countered as much as some other characters. Obviously, he has some hard-hitting moves that you might have to be careful against. But it's a lot of picking your moments. As far as how I feel I am with Link, he's not going to be my main, because while he's a pretty good character, he has a lot of glaring flaws that I cannot mitigate very, very well. And when you miss with Link, you can tend to miss quite hard, and those punishes can be brutal if the opponent knows what they're doing and they have some really good combos, let's say like a Greninja or a Mario. And we read that roll in, go for the up throw, not because it'll kill, we're still like 30% away from killing there, but hopefully to, catch him with another aerial and just retain the neutral game. But for me, Link, he isn't a fun enough character for me to main. I didn't feel like it was going to be that way when I initially started playing Link. Because I thought, he was pretty fun because of how strong he was and how different he was from other characters, the projectiles that he has, the different possible setups, while not guaranteed or, fantastic setups. They were kind of fun to pull off, with some boomerang shenanigans or some bomb setups. He just isn't super duper fun for me to play, and I'm not very good with him. At least I don't feel that way. Kind of like with Ike, Link is one of my higher win percentage characters. He's probably in the top 10, but I just don't feel that if I were to really lab it with Link more so than I already have, that the ceiling that I would have would be very high in the way that I play this character and how I play as a whole. Trying to get him with the up air, he air dodges, we get him up in the air again with another boomerang, and we seal it off right there. So Link isn't going to be doing it for me, but he's still a fun character to mix in every now and again, especially if an opponent doesn't know how to deal with those projectiles, or if they don't respect the zoning capabilities of the sword and the grab. Link can do some work, but it's not going to be the guy for me, so the quest continues.